My girlfriend's father hit my girlfriend, 30F, 35M. Could I get him arrested? My girlfriend lives with her father. Apparently their relationship is strained a lot. She snapped me yesterday. Her head is bruised. I'm not sure she's being truthful about if he used a weapon. She's terrified of him now, locking herself in her room. Her eye is swollen with a bruise on her head. She's terrified, scared it'll happen again. She refused to report a domestic abuse report, but I was wondering if I could. She shouldn't fear for her safety. She's a beautiful tiny girl who couldn't defend herself from a man way bigger than her. She was crying and shaking. I ordered her food because she's scared to go out. He ran away to his girlfriend's house. He knows what he did was absolutely horrible. She refuses to say his location. I know that's her dad and doesn't want to see him put away. What can I do besides be here for her? Help her move out, immediately. That is the priority. God knows how else he has abused her throughout her lifetime. This is a very disturbing situation. Take pictures, document everything. You can call the police and they would advise you about what you could do, if she will or will not speak on the matter. It depends on where you're located regarding if they could charge him without her cooperation. If she won't admit to the police what happened, they will be unable to arrest or charge him. Additionally, it will likely cause her to resent you for doing so before she was willing or ready. Help her get out. She's a grown woman and you're a grown man, and this reads like something out of high school romance. Suggest that she move away from her father, but whatever she does, it's going to be her decision. Don't call the cops if she doesn't want you to call the cops. If she's in an abusive situation, the best thing you can do is help her get out of it. Help her get somewhere safer to live. You're adults so she can move out. Even if it's just temporarily into your place while she sorts out a job and finances or whatever, the best thing you could do is help her get out. If she was a kid, I would say yes, call CPS. But you're both adults. Help her get out. Yes, you can, but at what cost? If she doesn't want you to report it, then you could end up being the bad guy. Ask her what her wishes are and follow them. You can also take photos of her injuries so she can do something should she desire later. She's an adult, you're an adult. Get her out of that situation ASAP. I'm not sure how long you have been dating, but regardless, I would help her get somewhere safe, first and foremost. Secondly, document everything. Pictures are best, but literally, no info is too much to keep. M48 wants a divorce if F44 loses weight. Married 24 years, 4 kids. Coercive control will not let me exercise or walk. I am a size 14 and he throws away my clothes if they are smaller than a 14 or large. Threatens to kick me out if I lose more weight. When we met, I was 140 pounds. 15 years ago, he was supportive of the weight loss after having kid 2 and kid 3. Now I am 195 pounds and he gets angry with me and makes sure I know he is unhappy if I lose 10 pounds. Is this normal? Are there other guys out there like this? I don't understand why I cannot work on myself. Do I stay fat for his happiness? This is abuse, op. Act accordingly. It seems a lot like a fat fetish thing to me. He could be a feeder. It's definitely not normal for partners to not want you to lose weight when you're unhealthy. It's definitely suspicious. This is abuse. Op, is there anyone who can help you out of this? What the fuck? No, this is not normal. Some partners love our spouses no matter what their weight and they support whatever the spouse wants to do with their bodies. If my husband wants chocolate cake, I will make him a delicious cake. If he wants to go to the gym, I will suggest a good one. He does the same for me. Your spouse is some kind of partner, not the good kind. You have to know this is straight abuse. You gotta make an exit plan and get out op. This is not okay. How does he not let you exercise? How can I, 74F, gently tell my husband, 70M, that he can be rather boring? My husband, 70M, and I, 74F, have been together for 34 years, married for 30. He is the love of my life and I'm not considering separation or divorce over this issue. I just want to keep the peace. The problem is that he goes into too much detail in conversation. For example, if we meet up with friends, even people we don't know all that well, and they ask, "How are you?" he will go into detail about his high blood pressure, his sore knee and the difficulty he had recently with our dentist. He doesn't understand that the correct answer to this question is pretty much, "Fine, thanks. How have you been?" I would just like to give him some tips or suggestions about brevity without upsetting him. So, age hits people guard, especially if they are especially isolated and lack community. If he's always been this way, sounds honestly like Asperger's, which is on the spectrum. I say this if he doesn't read any social Ks and has one-sided conversations almost exclusively. Maybe I've just been around this a lot to jump to this. But I wouldn't call this boring. That was a weird word to use to describe this one example. He sounds like he's got anxiety about aging. What's the actual problem here? Do you feel like he isn't listening enough to you? Or are you disinterested in what he's saying? Is he embarrassing you or himself in front of other people? Because it seems like all of these problems could be present in this situation, but they have different solutions. Is he American? Because in some cultures, if you ask someone how they are, you'd better be prepared to have that question answered very honestly. I am American, but I will still answer things like, tired. Lol, how are you? So I do not always give the, fine, answer some people expect. Emo, you just say, hey, when most people ask you how you are, they are not expecting an actual answer. It's just small talk, a conversation opener, whatever. There's no rule that people can't be honest about how they are when asked, unless it's a complete stranger who's only asking to be polite. People have different communication styles, so it's not always a case of you being right and him being wrong. I'd consider why it bothers you so much that he wants to tell people what's going on in his life. I also wonder why he feels the need to share so much with others if he's also being listened to at home. Does he feel loved and listened to and validated by you? The man is 70. He's allowed to complain. Man, am I the only one that likes when people talk a lot? Like hell yeah, tell me about your stuff. My 34M wife, 38F, never lets me take a nap if she's awake. I've been trying to figure this out for years. My wife and I have been married for 5 years at this point, but we've been together over 10 years. We met in college and one of our favorite pastimes was to have nap dates after class. Fast forward 10 years and we still love to have a good nap after work. The problem is anytime I take a nap while she's awake, she wakes me up. I'll just be settling in for a good snooze and she'll shove her phone in my face to show me a funny video. I'll roll over and get settled under the covers, and as soon as my eyes close, she'll call a friend and start talking super loud. She swears she doesn't do it on purpose because she knows I'm notoriously grumpy when my sleep is cut short, but it has become more and more frequent and it never happens when we both lay down after work. Help me out here. What am I missing? What's going on? If you've already mentioned it more than a couple of times, then your wife is being intentionally inconsiderate. I would start napping alone with the door locked. There's no deeper reason here. She's just being selfish. She is doing it on purpose. She's not accidentally shoving her phone at you when your eyes are closed. She knows your eyes are closed and she knows she's shoving her phone at you. Same thing when you get under the blankets. She knows where you are nestled into the bed. It sounds like you have already discussed it and she is still doing it. It is not an accident. I knew a man who did this and would literally jump on the bed to wake his wife up. It's fully on purpose. A narcissist absolutely cannot stand if you are enjoying yourself and will do anything to prevent it. Ask yourself if there are other areas of your life where this is true too for her. It's a really disgusting trait to bring into a relationship. I mean, you can talk to her about why this has become such a pattern. But I think you should say out loud that it really feels like she just doesn't care about waking you up. If she cared, she could easily do much better, and apologizing about it afterwards doesn't mean much when nothing changes. Your wife is being an asshole? Or does she feel as if she lacks attention from you in general? And OFC, she's doing it on purpose. Talk to her about it when you aren't napping and tell her to knock it off. And make sure you're paying attention to her otherwise.